hi everyone, we're back at the blower again today for a little bit more surprise maintenance. Okay, last video we fixed up this bend and we put car springs in. So we cut out this section, so you can see that was the original that went there. The ground here is so hard and abrasive, it's worn a hole straight through the bend, both up the top and down the bottom, and it's also collapsed the pipe down the hole. So we've got to replace the pipe down the hole, and we've got to patch up the bend. So what we're going to do is copy one of our neighbours that have used car springs, because it's much harder steel. So we'll just weld them in place. They've got to be shaped a little bit to fit on the curve, but yeah, anyway, we've roughly measured it up, and now we'll start fitting it in. Just tack it up first and go from there, see how it goes. And we've got some big gnarly holes in it, and you can see it's been patched up quite a few times, and it starts getting deformed inside. Now all these points are catch points for rocks, and we don't want that, because if you get a rock jammed in here, it wastes a lot of time to get it out. So we've just cut this section out, we've finished patching it, and we've replaced it with car springs, and we just put it in place to see how it was going to go, a quick weld up, and I was pretty sure we'd get some cracking, which we have. So now we're going to weld it up properly, and that requires applying heat and then using some low hydrogen rods, and then we'll put some insulation over the top of it and let it cool down slowly. And from everything I've heard and read and been told, that should make it stick together and stay together. But so far it's working, so we'll continue with this strategy anyway. And that's it for this morning's exercise. A little bit later on, we've got the same problem down the bottom bend, 90 degree. It's worn out as well, so we're going to put that section of truck tire, we're going to liquid nails it and tech screw it on, give it a day or two to cure, and that should solve that problem. That's another little trick that we're copying off our neighbours. So yeah, we've got today's maintenance activities cut out for us anyway, so let's get stuck into it. Inspected it and done a bit of tacking up and whatnot, and now we're at a stage where we want to heat the subject up. So I'll apply this heat until it's too hot to touch. I don't want to make it glow, even though you're probably supposed to. I don't want to risk changing the strength of the spring steel too much, the temper. The weld probably will change it, you know, where the weld is anyway, and soften it a bit. But as long as the majority of it's still hard to resist abrasion, then it'll do its job. But anyway, this is what we're being told to do. Heat it up, and I'm just trying to get the heat sort of broad base across the spring steel and also the original steel, so we get a good bond, and then we'll slap some insulation on. And when I did the main pin on the agi, it took about 10 or 15 minutes to heat it up, and it was a fairly big chunk of steel, so I'm guessing it'll take similar amount of time to get heat into this. Where I did some patching up down here, it's already put a bit of heat into this section, so I won't have to do it for long. I'll probably just heat, when we finish, I'll probably just heat it up again and then slap the insulation on. Heated it up with the torch. Now we're going to run some vertical welds up where it's cracked. Okay, I think that's about it for the welding. So now I'll just hit it with a little bit more of that heat, and then we'll slap on this insulation that's down over there. So we've applied a bit more heat to the weld, and now we put our insulation on there. It's not ideal, but it's going to help hold a bit of heat in anyway. It's not too cold a day today, so that combined with this, it should cool down a bit slower, and hopefully that'll stop the cracking. Let's see. Time will tell. Alright. Oh well, we've finished our tail out. A few bits and pieces. I might a few extra bits and pieces in so it wouldn't get swished off the table. There's a couple of bits and pieces in there. That one looks interesting. Nothing exciting, but not every tail out's a bonanza. So we keep digging, and hopefully next one's better. Okay. Well, looks like we didn't quite get our maintenance jobs done today, so the Absolute team's camping at Darwin. And we've got a bit of a barbie going and having a bit of a relaxing time, and we'll go to bed early and get up early and get stuck back into it tomorrow morning. Anyway, the saga continues.